Hello out there, all you poker junkies. This is Compncards. I am here to bring you another edition of the WSOP Poker Junkie podcast. Holy crap, what an amazing past few days it has been. Naturally, there are always amazing stories at the World Series of Poker, but this year there have been more stories than I can remember in a long time. Now, Wicked Chops Poker made a comment about this year being the year of the comeback, and they could have nailed that more appropriately if they had tried. I mean, look at the stories that have happened so far this year. We had Min the Master come out and win his 7th bracelet of the year, and then turn around and make the final table in another event. Michael Mizrachi, who hasn't done anything in quite a while, wins the $50,000 Poker Players Championship, and then turns around and makes the final table of the 10K Stud and the 10K Limit Hold'em event. Dutch Boyd, who hasn't done a damn thing in poker since the first year that I was playing live, which was 2006, he turns around and wins his 2nd bracelet. And most everybody had totally forgotten about Tex Barch. After finishing 3rd to Joe Hashem, he turns around and wins his 1st bracelet this year. And then, of course, we can't forget Sam Farha, who comes out and wins his 3rd bracelet of his career. So all in all, this has been a fantastic year here at the World Series. However, everybody in the last day or so has been watching none other than the man, Phil Ivey. I told you guys before the beginning of this World Series that if Phil actually was focused for this World Series, that he would actually win a bracelet and maybe 2. Of course, I totally forgot about the bracelet bet that he has with Howard Lederer, to where he'll win $5 million if he wins 2 bracelets within the next 3 years. Well, after Phil Ivey's win last night, the only thing that Howard said on his Twitter was, gulp. That's right, Howard, gulp, big boy, because you're about to lose $5 million, because Ivey has the rest of this WSOP as well as the next 2 years. Now, unfortunately, the WSOP Europe doesn't count, and I don't actually blame them because the WSOP Europe is kind of a watered-down product, in my opinion. But, Howard, you might as well try to figure out a way to buy this bet now, because if you don't, you're going to be giving Ivy a nice little chunk of your bankroll here pretty soon. But then again, you might just give him money on full tilt. I don't know. But anywho, thinking about the year of the comeback has made me wonder about several players that we really haven't heard from in quite a while. The first of which is Bill Edler. I mean, what the hell happened to him? He had this amazing 2007 to where if he entered an event, he was either deep in it or he won the son of a gun, and then he fell off the face of the planet. In fact, he went 0 for 2008 and part of 2009 before finally getting a couple of little cashes. He has not done a damn thing in poker since he won all those events in 2007. Now, granted, he did more in 2007 than most of us will ever do in our poker careers, but someone of that status, you would think, would have had at least something to speak of in the last couple of years or so. Alan Cunningham is another person that you're wondering what the heck happened in the last couple of years. He really hasn't done anything as well. He's got a few minor cashes, but he really hasn't done anything. So, I mean, and Alan is a good player. So it's not like we're dealing with someone that had a monster year and a half, and then fell off the map. We're dealing with someone who's had a good career and just has not had a good last year or 2. So I'm hoping that he can turn around soon. A couple players that my buddy over at Part-Time Poker mentioned were Steve Danneman and Jamie Gold. Now, Jamie Gold, he had that miraculous run through the main event to where he basically took his massive chip lead and, of course, was facing Alan Cunningham at the final table. And then, after he won the main event, other than doing a few charity events, he kind of fell off the map. Now, part of it is probably because of that crap he pulled with Bodog, and he hasn't really been able to get any type of legitimate sponsorship afterwards. He's actually one of the only main event champions since Moneymaker won it in 2003 that hasn't been able to get any type of legitimate sponsorship. Now, Jerry Yang has even gotten full tilt sponsorship, yet, I mean, Jamie Gold, who won the largest main event in history back in 2007, he hasn't been able to get a damn thing, really. I mean, he's got a couple of minor deals in which he was out of quickly. So, now in regards to Steve Danneman, yes, he finished heads up in the main event against Joe Hashim, not Joe Cotta, Joe Hashim, and he's had a few minor cashes since then, but he really hasn't done much of anything at all in poker. Now, granted, a lot of people thought he was very lucky to get as far as he did. That's not saying that Danneman did not have a great run that year at the WSOP, but I mean, I think his track record has proven that he really is not anywhere near an elite player as a lot of the other champions that have come through winning bracelets throughout the year. In fact, he's probably one of the luckiest players to make the final table since Robert Varconi did in 2002 when he won the main event. But, hey, who knows? He may even be able to make some type of a miraculous comeback. There are a lot of strong events left on the schedule coming up. Tomorrow starts the $10,000 horse championship. Now, on Saturday, we have start of the 2,500 mixed event. This coming Sunday is the Tournament of Champions event at the WSOP, and that starts at noon. It'll be fun in a way to see a lot of these champions get together and play this event. While a lot of people are hyped up for it, I'm not as hyped up for the event just because, I mean, it's an all-star event and it's nice and everything, but, I mean, it's not for a bracelet. And I am kind of disappointed how some of the voting went. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to watch some of it, and I'll take pictures and everything, and I'll report on it. Next Wednesday is the $25,000 six-handed no-limit event. Now, that is going to be an impressive field. I expect we're going to have somewhere between 150 and 175 players show up for that. I know that sounds pretty high for a $25,000 event, but being six-handed $25,000, I think you're going to see a lot of these internet young guns show up for this event, as well as various different pros. On next Thursday is the $10,000 Pot Limit Omaha Championship, and coming up this next Saturday will be the $5,000 Ante Up for Africa charity event. Melissa Costello is going to be covering that, getting interviews and whatnot from that. Then on the 4th of July, we have the final table of the Tournament of Champions. And on the 5th starts the WSOP main event. That's right, folks, we are just a couple of weeks away from the main event here at the World Series of Poker. So, personally, I figured that the WSOP main event is going to have around 8,000 participants. Actually, let's say 7,500 to 8,000. There's going to be growth this year, is my estimate on this. I don't think that we're going to have between 6,500 and 7,000 like some people think. I think we're going to have a pretty significant jump. Either way, we're going to have growth. Whether it's going to be as significant as I hope that it will be remains to be seen, but there will be growth this year, is my guess in this event. Now, a lot of people are saying, how can I say that? Because certain other events here haven't grown, such as the 1K events. Well, what people are failing to realize is the 1K events here are being held every weekend. And those events are getting over 3,000 people consistently. That's over 1,500 players a day. Now, you take that number, and let's just say you average that into the main event. You're looking at 6,000 players right there. Now, obviously, there's going to be a lot more people that are going to come in for the main event than would for just a 1,000 event. So, I think right there, you're looking at well over 7,000 people. That's just my take on it. I might be right or wrong, but it just remains to be seen. Anyway, I should have one, maybe two more of these podcasts coming to you before the end of the WSOP. Hopefully, I'll have some type of guest before then. If not, we'll basically be bringing you, we'll be rehashing some of the things that will be going on here at the WSOP. And we'll try to bring you at least one podcast during the main event to let you know what's going on and give you a little bit of the flavor that's going on at the WSOP. This is Compncards. If you have any comments for this Poker Junkie podcast or coverage in general, feel free to email me at compncards@gmail.com, or you can visit us on Facebook at Poker Junkie. You can also Twitter me at Compncards. So until next time, this is Compncards, and good luck to you at the table.